So, Danny here. 5 things you should watch out for when buying seafood. Because you gotta watch out for your health. And that's what you should be doing. Because I love you. And Jesus loves you. So watch out for your health. So yeah, 5 things you should be watching out for. 5 things you should be watching out for when you buy your seafood. Keep on watching and you'll find out those 5 things. Alright, y'all. So the number one thing you should be watching out for is the color of your seafood. So the color of your seafood, that usually indicates how long the seafood has been sitting around for a very long time. Either a very long time. If you go to a good place, um, it doesn't sit out for too long. It usually, leave within the day. The seafood usually gets bought within the day. But you don't want to see any like brownish to it. No brownish to your seafood. No type of like real like discoloration where like most of the fish looks like a one solid color, but then like there's like a part of the fish or shrimp that looks real and that's different too. Fish and shrimp color they grade differently, obviously, by some people don't know that. Um, some people don't know that. Fish usually degrades in color around, all of it, like all of it reacts to air differently. Fish degrades over time and browns. It browns over time. It starts to lose its whiteness to it. There's like the flesh. If you cut it open and you see the flesh, it starts to not turn. It starts to not. It starts to lose its whiteness. Basically, it's supposed to be like a firm. Most fish are firm and have a really Some have a pearly white. Some have like a really off white. It just depends on the fish. But if you see like some brown to it, that means it's probably been around for a long time. But like I said, you're probably not gonna see it as much because if you go to a good seafood seafood market, then you would see that not happening much because they be selling it and they be packaging it the right way and keeping it on ice or cooled. That's something else I'm supposed to be talking about, but that's what you should be looking for. Something that has a consistent color to it. Excuse me. Something that has some fish that has a consistent color to it, and also doesn't have any blemishes on it. No like discoloration in one concentrated place, and no discoloration throughout the fish. So now for shrimp usually the whole shrimp discolors at the same time. It doesn't it doesn't happen in concentrated parts of the shrimp just because it's so small. It it usually the whole thing discolors. But like I said, if you go to a good reputable seafood market, you won't run into that. So that's number one. Watch the color of your seafood. All right. So number two, the smell. The smell. If the fish smells like just straight up death, like it's not supposed to smell like obviously the fish is dead, but like it doesn't rapidly start to smell bad unless you leave it out exposed for a very long time. So if the fish smells like just hella bad and you shouldn't even be touching it if it smells like that. But you'll know when something's like really 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 rancid. I'm using big words today. Rancid. Yeah, but usually if something if a fish really smells pretty bad, you start to really kind of gag a little bit at the smell. You're gonna want to steer clear of that place that you're going to because fish should not smell like that. But usually it doesn't have. If you're going to a good place, I'm gonna keep on saying this. If you go to a good place, You will not find that because they will throw it out and they will not sell it. So, but yeah, usually that happens when a person leaves their seafood in the refrigerator for a long time, or they just forget about it, or I don't know. I don't know what else situation would happen like that. But um, watch the smell of your seafood because it might start smelling like ammonia, and or not ammonia, but like you know, um, just different smells that's not you know becoming of a fish. But yeah, that's number two. Bad smelling fish. Yes, watch the smell of your fish. All right, y'all. So number three is the colors of the gills. So we're going back to fish. If the color of the gills is not like, I'm looking at my notes here. Um, okay, so if it's not like a really, like for example, red snapper. If it's not like a really pinkish type of look to it, if it's more like a brownish and even black, uh, don't eat it because it's bad for you and you shouldn't be eating it because it looks bad and it's probably been out for a very long time and it's rotten. It's rotten. So don't eat it. Anyway, yeah. Bad like bad bad sea no. If the color of the gills is discolored as well, don't eat it because it's probably rotten. All right, yeah. So number four is buying. I said this earlier in the video. Buying from a reputable source. So somebody that's been in the community for a long time. Usually you hear about the place from word of mouth. You want to. You want to. This place usually is a brick and mortar place. Uh, a place that can that you can go back to. You can point at and say, "Hey, I got my seafood from there." And most of the time, you have a good like you have a good like understanding of who they are. That's big because you don't want to buy bad seafood and then a person not be there. So yeah, or have something that's always been that you can trace back to them. Have something traceable. So yeah, what you do is you go on Google, find you a nice place where you're at, and go test out the seafood, and follow the things that I've been saying because I've been in this game for a very long time. It's like messed up. Anyway, that's number four. Buy from a reputable buy from a reputable place. All right, so number five, and my last one is watch the packaging and the make sure it's stored at the right temperatures because, like I said earlier, you don't want your seafood to spoil because that can make you sick. And it has to be packaged the right way because cross contamination can be bad and is bad, and that's a regular thing you should watch out for. So, uh, those are my five things that I have that I wrote down. Yep.